Hi everyone, it's Katie from kgrantdesign.com and today is Tutorial Tuesday. We're going to go over today how to use the blend tool in Adobe Illustrator. The blend tool is amazing in Illustrator because it can create some really complex looking designs without taking up your time. I'm going to use it today to show you how to manipulate lines in Illustrator. You can use it to create like double helix looking shapes and that sort of thing that look, like I said, super complex, but it's not going to take you very much time to do it. Let's get started. Okay, so once we have Illustrator open, you can select whichever size works for the project that you're working on. And I've just filled my artboard in with a background color so that there's a bit of contrast when we start working with our lines. So I'm going to go ahead and create our first line, which I'm going to create here at the top of our artboard, outside the artboard just so I can see what's going on. And I'm going to do this by using the line tool, holding shift and dragging so that I get a nice straight line. Now I'm going to give it some color because it doesn't have one right now. And now I'm going to duplicate by holding the Option key and dragging. Okay, now select both of your lines and just make sure that they are aligned. Okay, next what I'm going to do is double click on the blend tool, which is this tool over here. So by double clicking on it, you can select a specified distance to create these lines. Basically what the blend tool is going to do is it's going to duplicate these lines between each other so that we get a whole bunch of them without having to duplicate each one by hand. So you can do specified distance, steps, or colors, and we're going to stick with distance. And I want them to be pretty close together, so I've got them set for 0.02. And you can, do whatever you think is going to work for you, experiment, see what is going to give you the effect that you're looking for. So just go ahead and click OK. And then we're going to highlight, again, both of our lines. Go to Object, Blend, Make. And it's going to create those lines for us. And if we zoom in, we can see, I know this is probably making some people dizzy, but you can see that you've created these lines with the 0.02 distance between them. Now this is where it gets fun. So we're going to go over and select our Add Anchor Point tool, which is over here. It's under your pen tool, but it's got the little plus sign next to it. The keyboard shortcut is just selecting your plus key. And we're going to add a single anchor point in the middle of our two paths that we created. And they don't have to be perfect, but you can get them as close to the center as you want to. Next, we're going to select our Direct Select tool, which is your white arrow, the keyboard shortcut is the letter A. And this is going to allow us to manipulate individual anchor points. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the anchor point we just made and I'm going to drag it. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the one down at the bottom. And look at that. So we've got this cool looking double helix thing going on. And what we can do now to make it look even more like a double helix is by selecting this point here and then grabbing our this point and then selecting where our convert options up here on your top toolbar. If you go ahead and select the curved option, you'll see that that is going to curve what was just a sharp point. So I'm going to do that over here as well. And now we have a much more double helix looking design, and you can manipulate these individual points to create different shapes. So that looks pretty cool, and it looks like, you may have spent hours doing it, but it was probably 5 minutes. And you can do an additional blend on top of this maybe in a different color. So I'm going to lock this one down over here on my layers palette, and I'm going to create another one. So that's it. It's pretty easy to go right in there and create and manipulate these line segments so that you can have some really, really cool looking design effects that look way more complicated than they already are. So that's it for today's Tutorial Tuesday. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or shoot me an email. You can get in touch with me at kgrantdesign.com, and I will see you next week for another tutorial. Have a great week.